Where the truth don't miss, no spin, no script, just a real talk with Chris. Cut the noise, break the mold, say the things they won't be told. Straight no chaser, no disguise, only truth behind these mics.
Welcome in to Real Talk with Chris. We're doing the show a little bit different today. We're going to just be kind of going over some of the different headlines that have been circulating online today. Well, not today, but like over the last few days. And I have a guest in with me today, Brooke.
Hello.
So I thought we would start with some news on Trump, which this is kind of crazy here. It's a, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I guess with the whole Epstein files, it's not really that surprising, but we've got this guy that has recently had some legal issues, and turns out he has recently been arrested for soliciting prostitution. So we'll go ahead and listen to this little.
Then there's Craig Long we arrested. He's 41. Some of you may recognize him. He's an influencer. He also owns Craig Long Fitness in Tampa. He was seeking the services of a prostitute. Did I tell you that he's married? That he's got 125 followers on Instagram, 568 followers on TikTok? Well, I'm going to give him some content for his social media today. He was a previous felon who straightened up, really what we want to see in life. Now he's an influencer. You know, he moves in big circles, even with the president. This is a photograph with the president and his son not long ago. Now, we like to see people who make mistakes early in life, and he had a long history straighten up. We like the fact that he likes the cops. Heck, he liked them so much, he got caught up in a sting and got to be up and real close with the cops. We asked what his attitude was. They said, oh, he had a great attitude. He appreciates law enforcement. Well, there you go. Got arrested in a human trafficking sting. Influenced that for a while.
So yeah, pretty crazy. I mean, honestly, with the whole Epstein files and everything, I guess it's not that surprising. We already know that Trump is protecting pedophiles. The government's pretty much flooded with them. So
I personally don't think that Trump is protecting. So there's,
I mean, there's people that have that opinion on it, and I'd like to reserve that opinion. Honestly, I would hate to think that he's actually protecting, but it's hard not to lean towards that with what we've seen out of the the Epstein files being covered up the way they have been.
no, I do understand that, and I find it odd that this guy that was just arrested has a social media presence when I get banned for saying it like 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely tend to have a pretty strong double standard on social media nowadays, especially on TikTok.
But I thought because I was female that I could get away with it, and I couldn't. Okay.
Yeah, like I guess that's the thing, if you're female, if you're pretty, like you can get away with more. It doesn't seem like really gives a shit about that. In my opinion, it's like if you're talking about if you're in any kind of opposition to at this point, they're going to either shadow ban you or they're going to completely ban your channel.
Completely banned mine on TikTok. And, I really didn't see it coming. I didn't, because I didn't say anything bad. I just said the truth. And it's like with Israel that you have to tiptoe and you have to bleep out every word. It's not like, I don't know, they're committing genocide.
So Oh, okay. So your opinion is that Trump is not covering up for people. So I got to ask you then, what's your opinion on his recent attacks against the social media influencers like Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and the way that he's been going after them? I mean, that picture that he posted, the AI generated Times picture of Candace Owens.
That was a real picture of Candace Owens. We do agree that. But Tucker Carlson for president.
I mean, it's just, you know, I was always in huge favor of everything that Trump was putting out as a message. And I still am. Like, I'm still 100% supportive of the original Trump message, because if you go back and look at Trump's message, you can't really disagree with it if you're America first.
Yeah, it is America first, but he's no longer American first. We know that he's first, and I can say that without getting you banned. And he thinks that we're dumb. And again, I'm not saying that I agree with everything Trump does. I think that he is covering up for his friends. I don't think that you would say that every one of them are pets, but I definitely think that they have had checkered past. I mean, look at this guy that was just arrested.
Well, and then also the other thing that's very disconcerting about Trump is this Iran conflict, and the fact that he's not very strict against actions currently, like with the Gaza and then with Lebanon. We're seeing more and more reports come out about how the IDF, you know, the Israeli Defense Forces, are destroying Christian sites and temples and schools, and you know, they're pretty destructive over there in southern Lebanon right now with their efforts to annex and take over the land.
The real problem here isn't the support for Israel, it's the Zionist support. And we have done a huge disservice and pushed in our state leaders, our Senate, everybody, and they have pushed an Israel first agenda. I mean, look at what Arizona just did about West Bank.
You know, that's a pretty good point you bring up, because Tucker Carlson had an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene the other day, and she was saying, like, if you want to get a pulse of the U.S. government, if you look at some of the bills that have been put through lately, and I forget exactly which ones, but there were ones that you absolutely like the funding for and different stuff, sending I believe it was like heavy equipment over there for their demolition of Lebanon and of Gaza. And there was literally only 4, I believe it was either 3 or 4 total out of, I want to say it was the Congress, that voted against it. And the rest completely voted for it, 100%.
But I even feel like somebody told me today, I think it might have been you who told me this today, that the people that vote against it are just doing it for shits and gigs and to look better.
So yes, and that's an important thing to remember, that when you have some of these Congress members, Senate, that actually vote in a way that you're like, oh, you know, maybe I'm kind of over judging this person, maybe they are okay, or have at least some humanity left in them. It's because they know the vote is going to be, it's going to go one direction, whether they, but you know, so they can afford to vote against what they would if it came down to their vote, in other words.
Yeah, because it's not going to change if they voted yes or no. So basically, they're just saving face. And
especially with the midterms coming up, I think we're starting to see some of that, like, it looks like Two-Face, I guess.
Well, I would encourage everyone that is voting or going anywhere to do their research on these people. Do their research and see if they are first, because we have no room for that here.
I It's a whole other discussion for me if I was going to get into my personal opinion about elections and voting, but I don't think that we can really have an impact on our country through voting at this point, because in essence, you're looking to the government to fix the glaring issues that we have in the government.
And I understand that. I really understand that. But let's pretend like we do have a say. Let's pretend that we do have a say in that we don't stay blind anymore. And we don't elect people that do not put American values first. And we don't elect Zionists when we have all these kids in Gaza dying. And shout out to Ken O'Keefe, because he's the one who got me to open my eyes on this. There is lice in 48% of all infant and children.
There's what?
Lice, scabies. There's disease and infection running rampant in Gaza right now. They are not only hurting women, men, they are trying to take out and extinct their whole entire race. And there is something wrong with that. It's called genocide.
Yeah, 100% agree. If you look at what's going on over there, if you do keep an eye on it, and you have to really source, you have to outsource to see what's going on over there right now. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty disgusting. But I wanted to move on to this, the White House correspondent dinner. First off, like the first thing I want to say is, directly after it happened, when Trump put out the video, which, by the way, I covered this like within an hour of it happening. I jumped on and put a video out on that. You could see that on my YouTube channel. But the video that they posted, the surveillance footage they posted, like I could have shot better surveillance footage with my cell phone.
Well, not only that, but like, has nobody taken gun safety? Because it almost makes me think that it was movie equipment, like the set equipment, because how did that guy not shoot the other guy when he was randomly shooting?
Well, there has been some new footage that has come out, and it's a lot clearer. Like it's actually pretty good footage. And
See that? Yep.
yeah, you actually see this canine handler talking to the gunman as it looked like he like escorted him into a room, turns around, starts walking away, and then that guy comes busting out of that exact room with the gun. Apparently it was, according to what I've seen in reports, it was a shotgun. And
Yeah, I saw shotgun. I saw shotgun. But let's go back into, do you know his name? The man's name? Because I cannot remember it, but he had zero background at all. And I think it was Cole. Was his name Cole? It was Cole Thomas Allen.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Cole Thomas Allen. That's right.
31 years old, right? Okay.
You know what? Actually, I have a really good share on this. Let's go ahead and look at a little footage of this real quick.
This assassination attempt where the assassin didn't even fire a shot. He had no history of violence. Secret Service, they shot 5 shots or 6 shots. They didn't hit anything. You know, all this happens and they all just go on about a ballroom.
We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
Very bizarre. What was also really bizarre, the presser that they did right after the event, which is weird enough. They're all there smiling, smirking, having a good time. When you look at something like that, and then you look at how politically this was used for a ballroom, just in unison, right after this, it's all about the ballroom. This whole thing just does not pass the smell test, especially since they've used it to build a ballroom like we're in the time of kings and czars and emperors. What is the logic in this ballroom anyway?
Pretty interesting there. The coordination between the online influencers is absolutely insane. It's impossible, first of all, unless they're all talking to each other behind scenes, that they had a group chat going on together. All these people that came out and said within like 30 minutes before Trump even posted the video, they were all out there saying, oh, the White House ballroom must be built. You know, then we have senators and we have congressmen all saying the same thing.
This is right after the judge halted the ballroom construction. You know that, right? So right after this judge halts the ballroom construction, all of a sudden there's an assassination attempt and they push for this ballroom to be done. That's fucking weird, to say the least. Like that, like shut up, Larry. And I know it was her that started pushing it. What was it, Laura Loomer? I can't.
Oh yeah, the demon,
God.
Laura Loomer. No, I don't know. She is. I mean, the way that she goes after Candace Owens, talking about her kids. I mean, she takes low blows. She literally takes some pretty low blows.
Of course she does, because look at her.
Yeah. She's pretty freaking foobarred.
Look, I don't do the demon like, oh, she's a demon. No, she's just a really ugly fucking bitch, and she knows it because she is trying everything she can to change how she looks on the outside because she's psycho on the inside.
I know, I actually catch myself kind of feeding into that too, but they did the same thing. All of these influencers that are calling for the ballroom, they did the exact same thing to Candace Owens, calling her a demon, calling her evil, and it came out later that there was like this
Coordinated.
Yeah, there was this online program where you could make money per post, and as long as you used these specific talking points like evil, demon, certain keywords were going to get you paid more or whatever. But
The funny thing is normal people were so stupid that they started mimicking it and being like, oh, Candace Owens is evil and she's the devil and she's been possessed, and get the fuck out of here.
I call those the sheep. You know who you are out there if you're a sheep. Like, I don't know how many times I get comments in my ex and I literally respond with just emojis where I do like this finger where I'm like, you're a sheep 100%, and I do the laughing face. Like, I'm not even going to waste my time with some of these people because they all say the exact same thing that the mainstream media is saying. You're working for clicks. I mean, how long was the click talking point put out there, like, consistently, to where you had these sheep come in? She's just doing this for clicks. When she's investigating, she's putting like unimaginable amount of resource and putting herself out there on the line to investigate the Charlie Kirk assassination. And she's given us a lot more than the government has at this point.
Yeah, and not only that, they even tried to push that she's in love with him and she's jealous of Erica. There is different kind of pretties all over the place. What works for one doesn't work for all, okay? So saying that she's jealous of Erica because of her looks is wild, because she's pretty too. Candace is pretty too. She's just a different kind of pretty.
Candace is beautiful. And I always thought that Erica Kirk was beautiful too. But as I, started to learn more, well, obviously after Charlie Kirk died, and I was taken by the initial report on it as well. But as I started to learn more about Erica Kirk and I started to kind of examine her behavior and I started to develop more of a, like a personality opinion of her, she's ugly as shit. I'm sorry. She's fucking disgusting. And it's not her looks. You know?
I mean, her face is kind of really big and her eyes are like see-through, and she does that a lot. And I just can't with her. And I mean, I'm not trying to go back to the ballroom, but I really want to touch on how the public thinks that it's the ballroom. But what it really is underneath the ballroom is what they want built. And that is the military bomb shelter.
Yeah, there's like bomb shelters, and I mean, I've heard that there's bomb shelters and shit. But I also, when I was doing some research on this the other day, there was it's a Jewish contracting company that got the bid. It was actually a no bid. So when you look at it, it was just given to a specific company. I forget what state they were out of, but it's all 100% secretive for all we know, like, we just don't know what they're putting under there, really. They could be building a nuclear bunker under there because they know something that we don't.
Trump himself said that the ballroom was just a shed for like literally the massive bunker beneath it. He just said this.
Yeah. I'm very suspicious of what they have planned for their, we're not going to know the truth until maybe it's too late or whatever. I don't know, but they can do anything they want underneath there, and they're going to have who knows how much money to spend on it. I'm sure it's going to be a lot.
No, it's they're trying to push it so hard right now. There's a reason for it. I'm not saying that it's all doom and gloom, but what I am saying is that it's really suspect when a judge halts it and all of a sudden a fake assassination attempt happens and they basically let him walk. Why didn't they release the dog? I just want to know.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, the guy goes running out, and it's like this guy's sitting there holding a German Shepherd that should be trained to do something about it. And the guy looked like he just turned around and kind of like was getting away because gunfire started. By the way, like in the good footage, it looks like it was definitely friendly fire. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know what they're saying it was, but it definitely didn't look like Cole Allen was hit.
I don't think he was. Was that, how about, was that other Secret Service agent across from him hit?
Well, when you watch the footage that I believe it was Stu Peters that might have put it out first or anyway, but I was watching Ian Carroll. By the way, Ian Carroll's back. Been waiting for him to come back. He said that he has had some health issues and stuff and didn't want to go into specifics on it. But I'm super glad that Ian Carroll's back. He's a great, he does some great deep dives. He's provided the web, which is also an awesome resource to investigate things in a deep dive investigations into different things.
An AI.
But on his recent episode, on his latest, when he came back, he showed pretty good footage of it, of the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. And you can see the guy, he's literally like, he's aiming and he's shooting in like a spray with 3 or 4 different law enforcement agents right in the background.
That is almost why I feel like it was like a movie set. Because how did they not? That's what I was asking. Did they take a bullet?
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, like the way he was just swinging the gun and shooting, I almost feel like it had to have been blanks. Otherwise, people would have been killed.
Absolutely. That's what I was saying, because no gun safety at all. This guy seems almost like he was kind of caught off guard, but that's what they want us to think, because he just started shooting and nobody was shot. Like, what?
Yeah, they were ducking and diving, just like Kash Patel was hiding underneath the table. I thought that was pretty funny. And then how about Dana White's reaction? He was like, oh, man, it was cool as shit. He's like, I didn't get down. I thought it was awesome.
He would, because that is actually how he is. I really think that.
Well, I mean, if I was there, I would not have got down. I would have been watching, especially if I didn't see anybody coming into the room.
Well, and that's another reason. Like, how are you pushing for that ballroom? Because a active shooter got in, but they stopped him before he got in. So they did their job. And I use that term lightly because they didn't. I think he fell over himself.
Well, in the good footage that I seen of it, it looked like they were setting up metal detectors or whatever. Like, it looked like they were actually setting them up or taking them down. I don't know. But there's people that were saying they weren't even checking your bags. They weren't checking your tickets. They were asking you if you had a ticket, and then just waving you in. So they piled hundreds of people into that room with the
Witness.
with the president, with the vice president, with the which, you know, obviously these people are freaking like, they're like Hollywood actors at this point. Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, like,
Cannot stand Kash Patel. I call him Cocaine Cash because that's what he looks like. He looks like like a
yeah, no, Cocaine Cash. Yeah, no, you know what? I like that. I think I'm gonna start using that. definitely fucking cocaine cash. Anyway, yeah.
It is really upsetting because I really liked JD Vance, and I liked him because of his past and because he was like no bullshit, but he was respectful, and I really liked him. He's a millennial. I find that good too, but
I liked him until he got in there and we started learning about him. Obviously, like, Americans are just fucking idiots, and we elect these people before really doing a deep dive into them and understanding who they are.
well, the vice president doesn't matter because you're voting for the president, right? So you're like whoever he picks, you're going to vote.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck with, like, if you've made your mind up, I get what you're saying. If you've
Yes.
made your mind up on the president that you've decided you're going to vote for, you're kind of stuck with, especially in the last election. I mean, it was Kamala Harris. Like,
I would have never voted for her ever in my life, and I do not regret not voting for her to this day.
but with everything that's gone on and Trump being the massive disappointment that he is at this point, because he's done nothing. I've heard people trying to defend that he's done this or he's done that. The main things that he promised to us that he ran on, the Epstein files, no new wars, massive tax, and this tax thing, it's not really helping anybody. If it is helping you, great for you. But
What tax?
well, he just recently had a where he went to hold like a speech at some sort of convention where he was talking about no tax on tips.
Oh yeah, no tax on tips, whatever.
But anyway, there's some arguments that he has done some good. He hasn't. He's literally just backtracked on everything that he told us he was going to do. What about getting rid of the corruption in government? That's obviously not happening. I feel like it's gotten worse, actually, since these people have gotten emboldened after Charlie Kirk's assassination.
That's what I was just gonna say is how can we trust them when they completely pushed a lone wolf shooter, a 22-year-old dweeb, in a high stakes assassin? I'm sorry. I will never forgive them for what they did. And they know what they did. And his wife knows it too.
Yeah, I mean, she's full-on Hollywood actor too. I mean, I think she's even played in some CIA films.
A horrible actress, by the way. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it with her. That's how she was breathing into the mic. I can't.
Oh, yeah, I can't stand her, but the main reason I can't stand her is because I loved Charlie Kirk so much, and I just see what is going on. She inherited potentially $1 billion company that, by the way, she's destroying it.
Destroying it. She has changed it from what he was to a feminist kind of thing. It's really weird.
They can't even get people to show up for a interview with the vice president.
Why would they? Why would they show up to watch her? She's awful.
I'm happy to see what's going on. I mean, there's schools that are protesting when they're protesting because they have scheduled events with TPUSA and Erica Kirk's supposed to be coming, and the parents and the kids are protesting and like doing walkouts of school. So Erica Kirk's having to cancel all these events, which I think it's awesome. Charlie Kirk's not here anymore, and she doesn't seem to give a shit about that. All she cares about is her image. All she cares about is that people hate Candace Owens. She wants everybody to hate Candace Owens because Candace Owens is actually showing us all of this anomalous evidence that doesn't make any sense. So,
and it really doesn't make any sense. And her last little speech, which I find also odd that she thinks that she has to get on and that's how bad she's doing right now, is that she has to get on and defend herself. Candace Owens says, I killed my husband, which even that is so inauthentic. How do you say it?
inauthentic.
Authentic that I can't with her because she just seems so fake in everything she says. Her body does not match the words coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, let's get back to Candace Owens because this situation with Laura Loomer, like, I find it absolutely hilarious. But Laura Loomer, so let me share this. I mean, so that you guys can just get a look at her face. Yeah, Laura Loomer, she's so terrible. I mean, the things that she says about Candace Owens, but Laura Loomer claims she has obtained documents about Candace Owens that will end her for good. Like, okay. Come on, Laura.
Release them right now, Laura. Release them.
Yeah, I think if she had the goods, which, by the way, I believe that she's obviously real close to the people at the White House. She's close to Trump.
And Laura Loomer is a sexual predator, to say the least.
What did I see the other day too? It was hilarious. They were saying that Laura Loomer had sexual relations with Donald Trump. Allegedly, yeah, of course it was allegedly, but when you see how close she is to Donald Trump, I guess it kind of makes sense.
I almost think that she's writing for him.
Oh, here it is. I'm going to share this one. Let me share this one real quick with you guys.
So this is a pretty epic meltdown coming from Laura Loomer. So Candace did a video that was like talking about how Larry may or may not have a micro penis. And Laura Loomer, and then at the same time, Laura Loomer's like, just now is, how can two things be true? How can I have a penis and have sexual relations with the president? It's called and ass sex, right? I'm pretty sure there's like an entire gay pride movement and the LGBTQ movement. I don't know, but my man Parody Jeff just made this banger. So if you guys aren't following Parody Jeff, check this account out because I don't know what's happening to Loomer. She might have taken way too many antibiotics or some STDs. I don't know. She don't look right. Check this out.
She doesn't ever address any of my claims about her lawyers, about her husband, about her trust, about anything. She just calls me Larry. She wants to insinuate that I'm a man. Well, how did I have sexual relations with the president if I'm a man? Which one is it, Candace? Am I a man?
I mean, she looks more like
do I
man
have a
than
dick?
a woman.
Or am I having relations with the president of the United States? She can't even keep up with her own lies because she's just a pathological liar. Now, obviously, neither of those statements are true. I do not have a dick. I am not a man. And no, I've never had sexual relations with the president of the United States. This is absolutely absurd.
So, first of all, that looks so bad.
Yeah, so obviously, Laura definitely, she looks more like a dude than a woman to me. Yeah, I mean, just, this is literally a face that only a mother could love.
But it's not even her face. She's changed her face so much over the years because she's not happy with herself.
I don't know. I'm a father. If my daughter looked like this, I don't know that I would love her.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. I just don't know. Like,
Well, you would hope that you would provide enough love and acceptance to her that she wouldn't feel like she is so bad looking that she has to change everything about herself. Okay. But hold on real quick because I want to throw in this one about Brian Harpole and his lawsuit against Candace Owens because Larry Loomer, whatever, I don't care about her and I don't really want to talk about her because she's literally nothing. But Brian Harpole is trying to do something and he's trying to sue Candace Owens for her saying or insinuating that he had a hand in Charlie Kirk's death, which I don't believe that she insinuated, but I do believe that she has shown multiple times that security lacked. And they lied. They have lied and lied and lied. Why?
yeah, I mean, Brian Harpole was the head of Charlie Kirk's security. So he definitely bears some fault in what happened, period. If it was his responsibility to secure the venue and to protect Charlie Kirk, he failed.
Not only that, right after saying that he thought they were going to kill him, you don't double, triple check to make sure that there's nobody there.
Well, that's another key point here. And not only that, they fucking lied about him saying that until Candace Owens released actual text messages with him saying that.
Yeah. And in the lawsuit, he claims that the Fort Huachuca allegations, it's one of the reasons why he's suing, but this is coming from somebody else. And this is media. This is the news. This is interviewing someone that thinks that he might have saw him. How is that a lawsuit?
Well, Candace pretty much clarified that in her last episode too, where she showed actual footage of her saying we can't verify who he saw. What we can verify is that he was there. And this is
Dad.
Yeah, this is his story. He was there for sure, but we can't clarify who he thinks he saw. You know, and he said, I think he said between 95 and 99% sure that he saw Brian Harpole, Cabot Phillips, and Erica Kirk.
But again, he feels like he saw who he saw. And I can say that I thought I saw you here. Can you sue me for that? Because if I thought I saw you there, I can say that I thought I saw you there because I was there.
Well, the issue here is that they're trying to make it where if anybody within the elite group is threatened in any way, that they can just come after you. And in all honesty, they pretty much can at this point. They don't even need a reason. We've seen it happen over and over, not to mention if they don't, I think if there's not an out for them like that, they can come after you and just have you killed. That's pretty obvious at this point. There's a lot of suicides, you know. I mean, let's talk about this, you know, the NASA scientists that are just disappearing.
One more thing before we switch the subject. I say that Candace Owens writes this and she uses subpoena power and she gets discovery because, I mean, he claimed a lot of things. He used Erica Kirk too. Now they all have to kind of testify.
What I'd like to see Candace Owens do also is because Wolf of Finance recently released a really good video showing the code in Utah that is specific to Utah that gives a close friend, and this is what the law says, is that a close friend also can apply to the judge for victim rights under the same privileges that Erica Kirk is applying as victim rights, right? Like, if that makes sense. So according to him, and I actually tend to agree with him, Candace Owens can prove that she was a close friend of Charlie Kirk's.
Not only that, she was really affected by this and they want to use that against her, but she loved him. That was her friend. And I would hope that my friend would do what she's doing.
Well, I feel like Candace Owens hasn't seen Wolf of Finance video because I think if she was tipped off to this, which I've tried a couple times, but I mean, to get her attention, I don't know, you know, I mean, I think you just got to be lucky. But I think if she knew, and who knows, maybe she has and she's like, no, I can't do it. I don't know. But I would love to see her apply at the courts for victim rights because Erica Kirk is trying to invoke speedy trial and all this shit. So if Candace Owens if she was able to get her foot in the door over there, maybe she could stall that so we can see a better chance for justice, because what it looks like right now is the FBI is stalling on releasing evidence, key evidence.
Withholding evidence.
And at the same time, you have the victim, you know, invoking their right to a speedy trial, which is absurd.
Which usually is not done. That's not usually done by the spouse of the one murdered. This is usually done by the man that is being charged with murder.
Right. But my point was that, and no, I agree with you, but
I just find it It's very, very odd. And I know what your point is. She can go in and get discovery. And maybe she should, but maybe this might be a better option.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see Candace go and apply for victim rights in this case, just so that we have a balance on the victim side, because right now it doesn't feel like there's a balance. It feels like you have Erica Kirk, which is completely backed by the FBI and Donald Trump. Well, the entire government, the federal government seems to be on the side of this needs to go away. It was a lone gunman. Stop looking at this. Fucking go back to work, peasants. And it was a lone gunman. Charlie Kirk's gone. We all miss him. Sad, sad, cry, cry.
I'm going to go ahead and release the UFO files so you guys can shut the fuck up. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Speaking of that, all the scientists that are missing and dead, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, you've done a little bit of research on this. At least I think you were telling me that. I haven't done much research on it, but it's very interesting that at the same time we have the government talking about extraterrestrials and UAEs, I think is what they're called, unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs. At the same time, we have them kind of pushing that out into the public view. We have all these NASA scientists that are dying off, and they're all posting videos prior to their, untimely deaths that, I'm not suicidal. And, the same old story that you see out of people that are connected to things the government don't want you to find out about.
Well, yeah, and they're the ones that are missing are pretty high up in like NASA and things like that. And the General Major Neil McMaster, I think his name is, he just vanished. He walked outside without anything, went on a hiking trail, gone. There's another one that was, I think her name was Monica, and I'm not sure on that, but she was hiking with a friend, and the friend turns around and she's back there and she's like this and disappears. She disappears.
Yeah, there's been some pretty strange things going on with the government. There's been what looks like just one false flag after another, and I'm concerned about what's going on with our government. I say that because I also think that a lot of people are waking up, and if they do feel threatened, who knows what they're capable of. They've been dumping this shit on us every day. By the way, for anybody who sees the chemtrails every day and it actually is something that catches your eye, it is for me, definitely. I don't like having shit dumped on everybody, including soaking into the agriculture, destroying the water and the air. Everything is being poisoned. They're not just poisoning you, they're poisoning your children, your grandchildren, the food we're eating, the air we're breathing, all of it. That is the United States military dumping that shit on us. At least that's what I've seen. Allegedly.
No, it's not allegedly anymore. It's not allegedly anymore at all. It's actually changed the name from chemtrails to cloud seeding. Look into it if you don't believe me. Arizona and Utah have fully industrialized it. It used to be illegal in Arizona. It is not anymore. And
well, I saw this, what I would describe as a heroic woman who went to the place of operation and actually confronted the pilots in an effort, I guess, to get them to realize what they're doing is poisoning people. And the pilots just didn't give a shit. They're like, hey, you're talking to the wrong people. I'm just doing my job. Well, guess what? Were the just doing their job when they were fucking put in the gas chamber? The standard applies here. I mean, you're fucking dumping shit on the population right now, and you're poisoning my kids, which I have a huge issue with. Not to mention, it's all taxpayer operations. These operations are being funded by federal funds.
Yeah, and it's not only gonna poison us, but how about your animals? To the people that don't have kids, how about your animals, your little baby puppies, your cats, them too, your plants, everything. And Arizona's really using it right now because of the water issue. They want to make it rain. That's what they want to do.
Well, we're probably drawing to an end here pretty soon. I thought we'd cover a story that was kind of funny, in my opinion. I don't watch him too much, but Nick Fuentes has been in the news lately because of, and I did watch him at first. I started watching him at first, but some of the things, it just kind of turned me off, so I haven't watched him in a while. But recently, he just beat this case where this lady, I guess, came to his house and was doxing his house, and he like came out, he like knocks her down and stuff. But anyway, it's been going viral, so I'm gonna share that clip with you.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing? Oh.
Get the fuck out of here.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that?
Anyway, yeah, I gotta get a little bit better at the screen shares and stuff, which I'm working on. But I mean, let's just talk about this for a second. So this lady, they were doxing his house. He had just went through, he explains how in some of his commentary lately, he's explained how this lady wasn't the first person to come to his house.
I actually believe he was almost murdered by a man.
That was a little while before this, but this lady during this time frame when this incident happened with this woman, he said that there was hundreds of people coming to his house. They were driving by on the street. They were harassing him every day because of his political opinions, his take on race,
Where he lives.
and where he lives, obviously, which, you know, I don't agree with Nick Fuentes on everything, but he's pretty smart on a lot of things.
I mean, I agree with his right to say whatever the hell he wants.
Well, yeah, I think that we all should be able to say whatever we want.
Yes. And see, this is another thing that I'm talking about with women. Like, they think that they can go and do that and then be flabbergasted, completely flabbergasted when they get equal fights, like equal rights, equal fights. Okay, you come to a house, doesn't matter. You think that you're going to get special treatment when you're stalking somebody. I think she got exactly what she needed.
Yeah, I actually agree. You know, she shouldn't have been over there fucking with him the way that she was. I mean, obviously his reaction to, I wanted to share this video that he just posted. So after beating the case, he went and put this one up. I thought it was pretty funny too.
Crazed leftist Nicholas J. Fuentes, Suburban Block. Ready, fight.
Flawless victory.
You know, he does not give a fuck. And I mean, that's pretty obvious. You have to at least respect that much that he just doesn't give a fuck. For too long, we've been suppressed and felt like, you know, you just can't talk about certain things. And it's like, how do you get past that as a societal divide if you can't even talk about it, right?
Well, I mean, everything is like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Oh my God, you hurt my feelings. Oh, you offended me. I don't give a fuck. I don't.
Yeah, it's like those type of people, they get rooted out. It's like, if you don't like what I have to say, don't watch me.
And definitely don't come to my house because you'll get the same treatment. Like, period. I don't think he did anything wrong. And I have always thought that Nick Fuentes was funny as hell. Even before I knew who he was, actually, I was on Instagram, and I mean, hilarious. His clips are hilarious. I don't know how you don't want to see what he's about. And definitely, he doesn't make you feel welcome to come to his house.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's got a lot of different sides. He's very edgy and he's very controversial in some ways.
Isn't he Gen Z?
I think he's like 25, or he's gonna be.
He might be 28. I think he's Gen Z, and it shows. I'm surprised that he came out and pushed her down, because Gen Z, I just don't see them like that.
Well, I mean, either way, regardless of your opinion of Nick Fuentes, that generation has that general sentiment, like fuck you, you know?
They're done. They're done. Well, I don't find a lot of the older Gen Z is like that, but the younger Gen Z, it would be like my kids. They're done. They're done like making sure that you're okay, and they're done like, oh, did I hurt your feelings? Because at the end of the day, they're gonna say what they want.
Pretty much all of them too. It's like the media does not have control of the narrative at this point.
I don't think that they would know what Fox 10 is, what CNN really is, other than old people shit. Like, they don't watch that.
No, they watch what they want to watch,
Yes.
actually, which, you know, looking back, like I always tried to shelter my kids from the media, from what I thought was bad, but it's kind of turned them into, they've done okay.
Independent minds.
I'll just say, yeah, they've done okay. But Nick Fuentes also is pretty smart on war stuff. Like, he's pretty smart geopolitically. He understands what's going on right now with this Iran conflict in a pretty unique way. He's bringing... It just makes sense if you listen to him on that front alone. Like, what he's saying, like, the United States is in such a situation right now where it's like, if you just leave, then, you know, you're losing face on the whole situation. You're backing off to Iran. You're going to embolden them.
You're weak. You came there, you started shit, and now you want to run? You can't. You can't. Or America. You can't just leave.
I checked in with Nick Fuentes, which was a few days ago. He was saying that, you know, the U.S., what they're doing right now, because they have literally stalled. They just have this blockade going on, which is a blockade to a blockade, which is, you know, funny as hell in its own right. But they're recalibrating over there. They're bringing in more troops, making it look like they're mobilizing and getting ready to do something. But I think, and I hope actually, they're trying to find a way that this doesn't have to escalate to troops going in, like a ground invasion type war.
Well, I mean, I feel like we're already there. And I feel like he thought, see, this is what really pisses me off about Trump. No new wars, and then the motherfucker goes to Iran. It just pisses me off so much. Like, and now that I look back on all this that he's ever said about Gaza, and I will never stop talking about Gaza, because what we have allowed to happen as we're fucking putting in money to them, money to where Zionists over here, the Zionists rule. I will never forgive them, and I will never stop talking about Gaza. And what we're doing in Iran is karma to us, because we're allowing all this to happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then if you listen to Mike Huckabee, the ambassador to Israel, every round the IDF fires is manufactured right in Colorado.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. And he thinks it's okay. And was he on Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, well, he actually tried to use that as a talking point that, oh, look, you know, this is creating jobs. That was how he tried to put that forward was, oh, it's so great for the United States because look at these people who have jobs manufacturing weapons for the IDF every single round. And it's not just every round. It's their uniforms. It's their vehicles. So when you see them running people over, which I've been seeing lately, where they're running over people in Lebanon, actually, those vehicles, the tanks, the heavy equipment, the excavators that they're tearing down religious sites with, and the bulldozers where they're just pushing, dead bodies and rubble out of the way so that they can start, I guess, construction in their new areas.
Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they better hope that Tucker Carlson is not on the ballot. Isn't he ambassador to Israel?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like so done with elections because the way I see it, they're just a complete fraud. But if Tucker Carlson ran for president, I would vote. There's no doubt.
No way I'm voting for anybody else. And I really, really do hope that, I really hope he would. I hope he runs. He is a centrist and he knows. And I'm down with him and I like him. And I like that everybody is like, oh, he is down to 7% or something like that. Shut up. Shut up.
Well, actually, the Hodge twins had Charlie Sheen on. Yeah. I think it was Friday. And even Charlie Sheen, you could tell he wanted to get into the Charlie Kirk topic and conversation. But at the same time, he was like, you can't really talk about anything nowadays without being attacked, But which way he leans because he's like, you can't take Trump seriously. He said that specifically. You can't take Trump seriously when he calls people like Tucker, Alex Jones, Candace Owens, and Megyn Kelly low IQ. I mean, it just makes him look low IQ when he says things like that.
You know what would be great? And I said this to my brother. I said, you know what would be the greatest thing? And would have people shitting a Tucker Owens 2028.
I mean, it'd be a lot better than a JD Vance and an Erica Kirk ticket, wouldn't it?
I mean, anything would be better than Erica Kirk because she her husband, allegedly.
Yeah, well, it had looked like it was in the cards. At least there was some evidence that Erica Kirk was going to be aspiring for those positions, like political positions, potentially president or vice president.
I mean, right after Charlie Kirk was killed, all of a sudden somebody bought Vance Kirk 2028.
He was quoting Charlie Kirk and said that Charlie had said Erica would make a better president than me.
Literally never would ever he say that. He talked very high of his wife being a mother. He talked very high of her, but not that high.
The need that their kids have for a mother in the home, that was pretty obvious in his opinion. Obviously now, now that he's gone.
Well, the nuclear family is such a big deal. And now it's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just really sad because the federal government is backing Erica Kirk. And it doesn't look like there's really much we can do about it other than just be aware. It's like, I keep saying this. With JFK, decades went by before people became aware. Even if we can't hold the government responsible for what they did to Charlie Kirk, allegedly, we know, at least we know, and we're not going to have to wait decades. I mean, I don't know how much good that really does us with the amount of control they have, but you have to start somewhere. At least we're not on the consciousness spectrum, we're not going backwards anymore. We're starting to go forward, and we're understanding what's going on.
I agree. And I don't think we have to wait. We have people that are blindly following because for whatever reason, I don't know. But we're not going to go ahead and do another JFK. We're not. I will be vocal about it because they murdered him and then acted like nothing happened.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Charlie. God bless to Charlie. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we cut out for today?
Nope, I'm all good.
I would like to thank Brooke for coming on the show again with me today, and I hope that you all enjoyed our roundup of the news for the last few days. We're just kind of talking about some trending topics that have been going down and circulating in social media, but I appreciate everybody who has dropped in. Thank you guys, and have a good day.
Where the truth don't miss, no spin, no script, just real talk with Chris. Cut the noise, break the mold, say the things they won't be told. Straight no chaser, no disguise, only truth behind these mics.